Good morning, girls. Am I
Good
audible to
morning, ma'am.
everyone?
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Okay, so yesterday we left off at means of transportation and we started discussing the road transport. Now, today we have to discuss the merits of road transportation. So, first merit is less capital required. The road transportation system requires less capital as compared to other modes of transportation. Bullock carts and camel carts can be purchased at very low prices. Okay. Obviously, there are demerits to using bullock carts and camel carts because they take a longer time and they're very slow. Plus, there is only a limited amount of product that you can carry. But for people who cannot afford to buy say trucks or jeeps to transport their products, it is easier for them to buy a bullock cart. Then next is helpful in carrying livestock. So livestock like oxen, goats, etc. Livestock means, does anybody know what livestock means? Who can tell me?
Some animals.
Yes, animals. But what is the difference between, why are we not saying animals and saying livestock? What is the difference? Okay, so livestock is are animals, that is right, but the purpose is different. The purpose for which livestock is kept is for consumption purpose, for eating, for um, providing meat and such other products. Okay, so that is the difference between animals and livestock. So livestock like oxen, goats, etc. Can be transported by road transport from the facility in a short time. This results in less expenditure on feeding the animals along the route. Okay, you may have seen oxen and cows being transported from one place to another in trucks, etc. On highways, a lot of times you get to see these things. Okay, then helpful in national defense. So this we discussed yesterday also, that it is easier for military, etc. and equipment to be transported from their place of production to place of usage. So it is possible to reach inaccessible areas through this medium. Road transport also has a special role in maintaining law and order in the country. Then employment opportunities. Thousands of engineers, contractors, technicians, skilled and unskilled labor workers, etc., get employment in road construction and maintenance work. So it does not require a lot of tasks in construction of roadways, does not require too much expertise. Like obviously, engineers and technicians do require some set of skills, but people who are involved in actually constructing the road, the labor that is given the work of actually laying down the metal roads, do not require as much expertise. They can be trained on the job. Then rural development. The network of road transport has opened the doors to rural development. Today, most of the villages are connected to the cities through road transport. The benefit of urban scientific and technological development have also started coming to the villages. Okay, so it is easier for us to transport equipments, machineries, products to rural areas through roadways. Okay, even if they are not metal roads, they are kacha roads, then too vehicles can move on them. Obviously it is a little difficult, but it is possible. But for a plane to land in a rural area, it is not possible. Then encourage farm product movement. It is very useful for road transport farmers. In villages where there is a lack of rail facility, farmers can send perishable and other agriculture products from villages to cities and other towns with the help of trucks, bullock carts, tractors, trolleys, etc. Okay. Next we come to, okay, there are more points. Wider coverage. So roads, through roads we can reach a lot of places. Okay, even if there are you may have seen that trails that are left behind by people moving on one route, which is called a pagdandi. Okay, that can also be used or can be included in roads. Okay, it is possible to reach some cities by only railways, while a wide area can be reached by road transport. Road transport facilities can also be availed in hilly and high altitude areas. Okay, so it is very difficult for trains etc. to reach such high altitudes, but roads are available. Then quicker means goods can be transported from one place to another, especially in short distance by road transport. Vegetables, foods, flowers, dairy products like milk, etc., perishable things are sent by this medium. In this way, the object quickly moves from one place to another. Next is safe means. There is no need for frequent unloading of goods during the road transport phase, because goods can be transported from the same vehicle to the destination. Due to this, there is no possibility of goods getting broken or stolen. Okay, then it is safer. Next we come to less costly. Obviously it's less expensive than rail transport. Road construction and maintenance also costs less. Flexible. This facility of transport is found to have the most elasticity. Any means of road transport such as motor, trucks, rickshaw, cart, autos, bullock carts, etc. can be used and can be reached at raw places like covered narrow roads, streets, etc. As per requirements. Next we come to demerits of road transport. What are the demerits? We'll shortly discuss. They are less reliable. So road transport are not suitable for transportation in conditions like monsoon weather, then excess rainfall, excess snowfall, or mountain areas. Therefore, road transport is not reliable under such circumstances. Okay, so these are some of the situations in which road transport becomes inaccessible. Then expensive due to increase in prices of petrol, diesel, etc., and more wear and tear. Transport agencies charge more freight for transport by road. Next is irregularity. Irregularity is often seen in road transport due to vehicle breakdown, accidents, negligence of employees, etc. Some road transport agencies are not able to maintain regularity in the operation of trucks, etc., due to lack of adequate booking of goods for a particular location. So, if there is only one consignment that does not fill up or pay off the entire cost of one trip, they do not send the vehicle. Then next is more accidents. Due to the rapid increase in the number of vehicles, road accidents are also increasing continuously. There is both loss of life and property in road accidents. Then no protection of goods in road transport. It is very difficult to protect objects from rain, sun, smoke, mud, etc. In the rainy season, traffic stops at many places. Slow speed. The speed of road transport is slower as compared to air and rail transport because of traffic. Then unsuitable for bulky goods. Trucks and other modes of road transport have limited carrying capacity. Hence, the inappropriateness of heavy goods is the main drawback of road transport. Then, unsuitable for long distances. So, we cannot go too far through road transport because it will take a lot of time and cost. Next we come to rail transport. Rail transport obviously largely caters to the needs of passengers and goods traffic. Rail is the main mode of transport in our country. Rail is used for transportation of grains, coals, chemical fertilizers, petroleum, etc. Rail transport contributes significantly to economic development. It is possible to create time and space utility by rail transport. Exploitation of natural resources, increase in government revenue, creation of new employment opportunities, mobility in labor, utilization of power tools, etc. Many important works have been possible only through the rail transport system. So, rail transport system was a gift to us, a gift or a blessing in disguise from the British government. They established this rail transport system for transporting raw material or cash crops from village areas or other parts of the country to the parts where ports etc. were available, so that they could transport those raw material to Britain. But when the British left, this was one of the very positive effect of their presence here that we enjoyed, okay, and are still enjoying. And railways are one of the largest departments of government that offer employment to the majority of our population. They have the largest workforce. Then merits of rail transport. Girls, please remember to write your attendance in the chat box, because I have noticed that the number of students
मैम
that are
वॉइस ब्रेक हो
present.
रही है आपकी.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have seen that a lot of students are present in the class, but I do not see all the names in the attendance when I mark them. So remember to write your name in the chat box or whatever present, anything you should write, so that there is an entry from your name. Next we come to merits of rail transport. So employment opportunity, as I said, it is the department of government that offers the largest amount of workforce in India. Then dependable. One of the main features of rail transport is its reliability. So if you are going somewhere through rail transport or train, you have to be you can be sure of it obviously before the lockdown and COVID situation. You could depend blindly on trains that they will run. Okay? There was no situation under which a train would have been cancelled unless and until it was absolutely necessary for it to be cancelled. Okay. So dependable, one of the main features of rail transport is its reliability. Rail service are available seamlessly. Seamlessly means without any problems. Despite the weather, climate, festivals, rain, fog, etc., the train service are regular. Obviously, there are delays in the arrival or departure of the trains, but they will run no matter how late it is. Then suitable for long distances, so it takes lesser time to travel by train because they have their own tracks and there is no traffic other than other trains. So due to wide network of rail tracks, it has become easier to transport goods to any part of the country. Rail facility is available from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So this is Kashmir is the northmost point and Kanyakumari is the southmost point. Then suitable for bulky goods. Heavy goods such as machinery, iron and wood items can be easily transported by rail transport. Railways are specially used in transportation of industrial goods, raw material, coal, etc. Then it is safer. In the state of rail transport, things are more secure. There is complete protection to the objects from dust, sunlight, smoke, etc. And the climate also does not affect the object. Then high speed, the speed of train transport is faster than motor transport or road transport because there is no obstruction or checkposts in the route. Then cheaper, so rail transport is very cheap means of transporting heavy and large items to remote places. Rail transport is very popular for the common people as it is cheaper. So there is a class available for every category of people in the country. Then demerits, what are the demerits? Requires more capital. Rail transportation requires huge amount of appropriation. It is necessary to spend a lot of permanent nature in the administration and implementation of railways. So if people have not even booked any tickets, and if even one person has booked the ticket for the railway, it will have to travel from its place of origin to the destination. It also costs a lot on its maintenance. Then unsuitable for rural and hilly areas. So rail service are not available in most rural areas anyway due to lack of adequate traffic. It is very expensive to provide train service in the villages. So because of lack of people wanting to go to those places. Similarly, it is very difficult and expensive to provide rail service in hilly areas. Then costlier, it is expensive to send goods by rail transport in short distance. So for long distances you can bear the cost, but for short distances also similar cost is applicable, which is in comparison it is higher. Road transport is cheaper for the short distances and low weight items. Then non-flexible, one of the main drawbacks of rail transportation is that the transport facility is available at the same place where the rail tracks exist. Rail service are available only on the prescribed routes, hence transportation facilities cannot be obtained by moving from the rail route. Also, transport facility is not available, is not possible by rail, house to house or warehouse to warehouse. Okay, so you have to change the vehicle once the train reaches the destination station. But through road transport we could do this, that we can load from one place or from the warehouse or from the shop, wherever it is, and we can deliver to our house in the other city or state. Next we come to water transport. Water transport in India is an ancient means of transport. The history of Indian water transport has been very ancient and glorious. Due to the powerful shipping industry, the people of the world were influenced by our religion and culture. Water transport system existed in our country even since before Christ. Water transport is very cheap. Compared to other modes of transport, it is the oldest mode of transport. It is used in the present day to transport all types of goods. Water transport has a special role in world trade. Then merits. What are the merits? Suitable for certain areas. Uh, Water transport is the best means in areas where roads and railways are not available. Then no congestion, so there is no problem. You can travel faster. The problem of congestion does not arise due to very large sea route. Congestion is a major part in rail and road transport. International trade has developed. Most of the countries of the world are connected to each other by sea routes. Then safer due to lack of any kind of vibrations in water transport, more moving or jerks, etc. Things are safe. Therefore, glassware, chemicals, and transportation of scientific items, etc., is also possible through this instrument. Then suitable for bulky goods. Obviously, you can very heavy goods can also be easily shipped by ships. A boat can transport objects weighing more than 6 times its weight. Then cheaper. Water transport is very cheap. Items of heavy and huge size can also be sent from one place to another by water transport at low cost. So usually people transport cars, etc., through waterways. Then demerits of water transport. Political and international problems. So obviously, as we know, the water space is divided depending on the country. The oceans are the gift of nature and they are all free to use, but sometimes due to political reasons or problems in water transport arise due to international relations or relational problems. Then limited areas are served. This mode of transport lacks flexibility. Water transport services can be provided at the same place where sea or canal or river, etc., are the source of water. Okay, so obviously inland transport is not possible through waterways. Then less dependable. Water transport is not completely reliable as it is not suitable in all types of climate. This instrument cannot be used in times of sea cyclones, storms, etc. Water transport is not possible in the summer due to falling water levels or drying out of lakes and rivers. Then low speed. The speed of water transport is slow as compared to rail and road transport. Therefore, such items which are perishable or which need to be delivered to the destination quickly cannot be sent by this means. Next we come to air transport. Air transport goes to the Wright brothers. You know the entire story of Wright brothers. They were the people who invented the first plane in 1904. That the human imagination to fly in the air. Today the services has become universal and due to its rapid pace the world has shrunk. In the modern competitive era, the utility of air transport has been steadily increasing. The first experimental flight in India took place between Mumbai to Karachi in 1990. The use of airplanes as a medium of transport began in 1927 while the Civil Aviation Department was established. In 1928, civil aviation clubs were opened and airports were built. 1946, the management of air transportation in India was in the hands of 4 big companies: Tata Airlines, Indian National Airways, Deccan Airways Limited, and Air Services of India. Air transport was nationalized in March 1953 and 2 corporations were established for its efficient operation. Indian Airlines Corporation to fly within the neighboring countries, and Air India International Corporation for worldwide flights. it is now known as Air India. Both of these have been combined to Air India. Presently, these two corporations as well as other airlines are providing air transport services. Then merits of air transport: emergency or helpful in crisis in under the circumstances of flood, storm, war, etc. Any place can be reached quickly through helicopters, and necessary assistance can be provided. Then helpful for agriculturists: airplanes can also prove useful in various agricultural tasks such as dispersing seeds, dispersing manure, artificial rainfall, spraying medicines, locust prevention, etc. Locust is a type of bug. You may have seen, it's yellow in color and looks like a grasshopper, but it's bigger and they eat away the crops entirely. They can destroy it. Then suitable for perishable and valuable goods. Suitable for air transport is more suitable for transportation of perishable goods due to the speed. Similarly, diamonds, gems, gold, and other valuable items can also be sent from one place to another by air transport with more security. Obviously, nobody can steal it in the air. Then safer. Air transport is more secure than road transport. This allows the goods to reach their destination safely without any damages. Then no obstacles. There is no obstruction or obstruction in air transport. Even the sea or the mountain does not become a barrier. Comfortable. The air transport is very comfortable. All kinds of facilities are provided to the passengers. There is no fear of moving or jerking like road transport. Okay, so basically we are talking about accidents. Then high speed. The speed of air transport is very fast. No other means of transport can counter this. Soon perishable goods can also be easily shipped by this means. Then demerits of air transport. What are the demerits? Obviously there have to be some negative points. International laws and restrictions. So international air travel has to follow international laws and restrictions laid down by neighboring countries or whatever destination country. The development of air transport services is hindered by international laws and restrictions. Required permission is required to fly above the border of a country. So every country, above every country, the space, it is known as airspace. Okay, so like the entire space above the domestic boundaries or borders of India is known as Indian airspace. Okay, so similarly other countries also have their private airspaces, and if we are not in good terms with some of the countries like neighboring countries like Pakistan, what happens is they restrict us from flying through their airspace, so we have to circle around them. Then high degree of training is required. So high degree of training is required. Obviously, not everyone can fly an airplane. Even with sufficient training, it is not possible for everyone to be assigned as a pilot in the airlines. Okay, then limited capacity. Air transport capacity is limited as compared to rail and water transport. Where it is possible, to transport thousands of passengers via rail and ships. Only a few hundred passengers can be transported by air. Okay, so obviously there are bigger aircrafts available nowadays, but the cost also is higher. The biggest aircraft, the two models that are being produced nowadays, which have the maximum capacity, are Airbus A380 and I think Boeing 777. So these are the two aircraft that are most commonly used if an airline wants to carry maximum number of passengers. So Airbus and Boeing are the two aircraft manufacturing companies. Okay, in the world they are the biggest and most successful aircraft manufacturing company, Airbus and Boeing. Okay, then next we come to fair weather friend. Air transport services are often interrupted by bad weather. Obviously, similar to water transport, air transport can also not take place if there is bad weather. Airline flights may have to be cancelled in heavy rain, snow, storm, etc. Delay in air service due to dense fog has become common. Now, fog can be overcome, but bad weather cannot be overcome. Okay, fog can be overcome through there are various flying techniques. Okay, there is ILS, and that is instrument landing system. Okay, and there is VFR, that is visual flight rules. So either you can fly by visually, if you can see what is in front of you, and if you cannot, then IFR or ILS helps you in flying or landing. Then not fixable. Accidents also occur in air traffic. In such a situation, there is immense loss of life and property. In an air accident, often passengers and belongings are completely burnt. Okay, so if there is an accident in a flight or a plane, the entire crew, the entire set of passengers and the property, whatever cargo is being held in the aircraft, they are all lost. Okay, but there have been instances where even after accidents, sometimes the losses have been minimized. Okay, there is a movie you may be interested in watching. The name of the movie is Sully. Okay, you all should watch this movie, Sully. It is inspired by real life events. Okay, there was a pilot who just after taking off, both the engines failed, and he had to land the aircraft in the Hudson River. Okay, and he landed it successfully without causing any loss of life, or obviously the property and the luggage was lost, the aircraft was lost, but nobody died, nobody had any injuries. Okay, so it is not flexible. Then not safer. Accidents also occur in traffic. In such a situation, there is immense loss of life and property. In an air accident, often passengers and belongings are completely burnt. Then very expensive. Also, in roadways, etc., or in railways, you can have the possibility of being refueled, but in air nowadays it is also possible that even a flying aircraft can be refueled. Okay, so there are techniques and gadgets available in which one plane acts as a refueler to the other plane, and it is fueled in air. Then very expensive. The cost of aircrafts and its maintenance and airport is very expensive. Air transport is many times more expensive than the road and rail transport. Other demerits are air transport services are inadequate in the country. Increasing accidents in air transport is also a cause of concern. Customs and other formalities may make air transport annoying, and there is a fear of hijacking the aircraft. Okay, so these are some of the demerits of air transport. Okay, next we will study the factors affecting cost of transportation, but we'll start it tomorrow. Okay, so there are some movies related to aviation industry that you can watch. It's very interesting and you'll learn a lot of things. I had to watch it because as part of my curriculum I did my MBA in aviation management, and I was also a student pilot. I have the license for being a pilot, so I have even flown for some hours as a training. So I was really interested in this field, and you all should also watch these movies and you'll be interested. So one is Sully, the other one is I think it's Airport. The same actor, Tom Hanks, he starred in the other movie as well. Just 1 minute. The Terminal. The name is The Terminal. So you should watch these two movies. It's very interesting and you'll learn a lot about airports and airlines, etc. Okay. Okay. So we'll end the class. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,